The holographic display in the United Nations Assembly Hall flickered to life, casting an eerie glow over the gathered world leaders. Silence fell as a towering alien figure materialized, its scaled, reptilian skin shimmering under the pulsing light. 6 eyes blinked in sequence, surveying the room with an unwavering gaze. "People of Earth," the alien spoke, its translator converting its alien clicks and whistles into clear, articulate English. "I am High Speaker Xyloth, representative of the Galactic Council. Your recent achievement of faster-than-light travel has brought you to our attention. The Council has reached a decision regarding the future of your species." Admiral Evelyn Sinclair, a seasoned veteran with 2 decades of military service, stood at the back of the hall, her jaw set with unease. She had learned to recognize a threat when she saw one, and the ominous presence of this alien emissary sent a chill down her spine. "Earth will submit to Council stewardship within 30 standard days," Xyloth proclaimed, his voice resonating with a sense of finality. "Your technology is primitive, your military capability laughable, and your social structure chaotic. You require the guidance of the galactic community to take your rightful place among the stars." Murmurs of fear and anger rippled through the assembly, delegates exchanging anxious glances and hushed whispers. Some appeared paralyzed by the weight of the alien's words, while others bristled with defiance. Sinclair, however, remained outwardly composed, her military training allowing her to control the rising tide of emotions. Her mind raced with contingency plans, already anticipating the Council's next move. "Should you refuse," Xyloth continued, his tone growing colder, "we will be forced to make an example of your world. The Council cannot allow potentially dangerous species to develop unchecked. You have 30 days to surrender control of your military and government to Council representatives." The hologram vanished, leaving the hall in a state of utter chaos. Delegates shouted across the room, some demanding immediate surrender, others calling for resistance. Sinclair slipped out of the chamber, her steps quickening as she made her way to the secure bunker deep beneath the UN headquarters. General Marcus Carter and Dr. Olivia Fernandez were already waiting, their expressions grim but resolute. Sinclair's voice was calm and measured as she spoke. "They took the bait," she said, "just as we expected." In the dimly lit command bunker beneath the UN headquarters, Admiral Sinclair, General Carter, and Dr. Olivia Fernandez stood before the central holographic display, their faces illuminated by the flickering images that danced across the screens. "Project Phoenix is ready," Fernandez announced, her fingers deftly manipulating the controls to bring up a detailed schematic of Earth's orbital defense grid. "Every civilian ship we've built in the last 15 years can transform into a combat vessel within minutes. The aliens won't know what hit them." Sinclair studied the display, her sharp eyes scanning the intricate web of satellites and orbital platforms that concealed humanity's true military might. "Send the official response to the Council," she ordered, her voice calm and unwavering. "Tell them we're frightened and need time to prepare our surrender documents. Throw in some political squabbling to make it convincing." Carter grinned, the lines on his weathered face deepening. "Already done," he replied. "I had 3 different nations threaten to launch their missiles at each other. The Council's observers are eating it up. They think we're on the brink of destroying ourselves." A junior officer rushed into the room, his expression tense. "Sir, the Council just destroyed one of our secret military bases on Mars. Casualty report, 0. It was the dummy base, just like we planned." Sinclair allowed herself a small, triumphant smile. 20 years ago, when they first detected alien signals, Earth had begun preparing, she explained. While the public celebrated each new technological advancement, the military had been quietly converting everything into weapons. Every self-driving car, every orbital billboard, every deep space mining vessel, they all contained hidden capabilities the Council will never expect. Fernandez stepped forward, her eyes alight with a fierce determination. "The Council thinks they're dealing with a primitive species that just stumbled into faster-than-light travel," she said. They have no idea that we spent the past 2 decades meticulously planning for this moment, masking our true technological prowess behind a facade of civilian development. Carter nodded in agreement, his expression hardening. Every comfort we've created, every convenience we've enjoyed, has been built on a foundation of weaponry and military-grade technology, he said. We've been preparing for this war since the day we first detected those alien signals, and now the Council is about to learn a very painful lesson. Never underestimate the ingenuity and resilience of the human species. Sinclair's gaze swept across the displays, her mind racing with the countless contingency plans and countermeasures they had put in place. Send the word, she commanded. Full combat readiness in 72 hours, and get me Admiral Hayes on the line. I want the stealth fleet in position behind the Council's armada when they make their move. As her officers scrambled to carry out her orders, Sinclair allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. The Council thought they were coming to put humanity in its place, but they had no idea what was in store for them. This time, the war was coming, and Earth was ready. In the vast expanse of space, the Council's formidable fleet gathered near the crimson glow of Mars, its ships bristling with weapons and sensors. High Speaker Siloth stood on the bridge of the flagship, his 6 eyes scanning the display with a sense of growing confidence. Send the final warning, he commanded, his voice resonating with a mixture of authority and disdain. Let us see if these primitives have come to their senses and are ready to submit to our guidance. Siloth's order was relayed across the fleet, and within moments, the communication was transmitted to the embattled leaders of Earth. The aliens' ultimatum echoed through the command bunker, where Admiral Sinclair and her trusted advisors stood resolute, their expressions betraying none of the tension that gripped them. They're falling for it, just as we expected, General Carter murmured, his gaze fixed on the holo display that tracked the Council's movements. Their sensors are only detecting what we want them to see, a disorganized, primitive species on the verge of collapse. Sinclair nodded, her mind racing with the intricate details of their carefully orchestrated plan. Captain Hawk, she said, her voice crackling through the secure quantum communicator. The Council fleet is making its move. Operation Hammer is go. Show them why humans are the masters of ambush warfare. Across the void of space, in the shadow of Jupiter's towering presence, the captain of the stealth vessel Ghost watched the Council's armada with unwavering focus. Around his ship, 500 other vessels lay in wait, their outer hulls disguised as nothing more than innocuous chunks of space rock. All ships ready, Captain, Hawk's first officer reported, his voice tinged with a barely contained sense of anticipation. The Council fleet is in complete chaos after their defeat at Earth. Just as planned, they're retreating right toward us. Hawk's lips curled into a faint smile. Then let's not keep our guests waiting, he said, his fingers flying across the tactical display. Execute Operation Hammer. The rocks surrounding Jupiter suddenly shifted, and the camouflaged ships emerged from their hiding places, their sleek, advanced forms a stark contrast to the Council's more cumbersome vessels. The alien fleet never saw them coming. Human weapons, refined from mining lasers and industrial cutting tools, sliced through the alien armor with devastating precision. Their shields, developed from atmospheric protection technology, proved woefully inadequate against the onslaught. Fourth Squad pushed them toward the gas giant, Hawk commanded, his voice cold and focused. Let's see how their ships handled Jupiter's gravity. Dozens of Council ships, desperate to escape the trap, flew too close to the planet's immense gravitational pull. The gas giant's merciless grip seized them, dragging the vessels into a maelstrom of destruction. As the battle raged on, news of the humans' surprising victory began to spread through the galactic community. The primitives, it seemed, were not so primitive after all. Humanity had spent 2 decades meticulously preparing for this moment, hiding their true strength behind a mask of weakness. The Council, now reeling from the unexpected assault, had underestimated their opponents, a mistake they would soon come to regret. In the dimly lit command bunker, Admiral Sinclair watched the ongoing battle with a grim sense of satisfaction. The display before her showed the battered remnants of the Council's once formidable fleet, their ships desperately trying to flee the onslaught of human firepower. "Dr. Fernandez," Sinclair said, her voice cutting through the steady hum of the tactical systems. "How's Project Lightning coming along?" Fernandez's voice crackled with barely contained excitement over the secure communication channel. "Ready when you are, Admiral," she replied. "The Council still thinks our ships run on primitive fusion drives. They have no idea what's coming." Sinclair allowed herself a small nod, her eyes fixed on the unfolding events in the void beyond Earth's atmosphere. "Captain Hawk," she spoke into the comm, "clear your ships. Dr. Fernandez, execute Project Lightning." Across the battlefield, the human vessels surged forward, their movements fluid and precise. The Council ships, battered and disoriented, struggled to mount an effective defense against the onslaught. What the aliens had dismissed as primitive automation proved to be combat computers far more advanced than anything they had encountered. Coordinated in ways that organic pilots could never hope to match, the human vessels danced through the enemy fire, striking with unerring accuracy. Their weapons, honed from technology originally designed for mining and industrial applications, sliced through the alien armor with devastating effect. As the battle raged on, a communication from the Council fleet reached Sinclair's command bunker. "Admiral," the officer reported, his voice tense, "the Council ships are requesting a pause in combat to discuss terms." Sinclair turned to General Carter and Dr. Fernandez, both of whom met her gaze with unwavering resolve. "Tell them no," she said, her words carrying the weight of a lifetime spent in service to her planet. "They wanted to make an example of Earth. Now we're going to make an example of them." The human vessels pressed their advantage, their relentless assault shattering the Council's once vaunted fleet. Across the galaxy, news of the humans' triumph spread like wildfire, shattering the Council's long-held assumptions about the primitive nature of Earth's inhabitants. Humanity, it seemed, had spent the past 2 decades meticulously preparing for this moment, hiding their true technological prowess behind a facade of civilian development. The Council, in their arrogance, had severely underestimated the ingenuity and determination of the species they had sought to subjugate. As the battle reached its climax, the remnants of the Council's fleet were forced to retreat, their once mighty armada reduced to a mere shadow of its former self. The Galactic Council, once a symbol of power and authority, now found itself in a precarious position, forced to confront the reality that the primitives they had sought to dominate were, in fact, masters of warfare and technological innovation. The battered remnants of the Council fleet limped away from Earth, their once formidable armada reduced to a mere shadow of its former self. Barely 800 ships remained from the original 2,000 that had gathered near Mars, their sensors unable to detect the human vessels that lay in wait behind the towering presence of Jupiter. Captain Ethan Hawke's voice crackled to life through the secure quantum communicator, his tone laced with a sense of grim satisfaction. "Operation Hannah is go, Admiral," he reported. "Show them why humans are the masters of ambush warfare." The silent rocks surrounding Jupiter suddenly shifted, and 500 more ships emerged from their camouflage, their sleek, advanced forms a stark contrast to the Council's more cumbersome vessels. The alien fleet, already battered and demoralized, never saw them coming. Human weapons, refined from mining lasers and industrial cutting tools, sliced through the alien armor with devastating precision. The Council ships, their shields developed from atmospheric protection technology, proved woefully inadequate against the onslaught. Dozens of vessels were pulled to their doom by the immense gravitational pull of the gas giant, their futile attempts to escape only hastening their demise. In the command bunker, Admiral Sinclair watched the unfolding battle with a mixture of grim satisfaction and steely determination. "Dr. Fernandez," she said, her voice cutting through the steady hum of the tactical systems, "how's Project Lightning coming along?" Fernandez's reply was filled with barely contained excitement. "Ready when you are, Admiral," she said. "The Council still thinks our ships run on primitive fusion drives. They have no idea what's coming." Sinclair nodded, her eyes fixed on the displays that showed the human vessels surging forward with a precision and coordination that the aliens had never encountered. Their AI-powered systems outmaneuvered and outgunned the Council ships, leaving them in disarray. As the battle raged on, a communication from the Council fleet reached Sinclair's command bunker. "Admiral," the officer reported, his voice tense, "the Council ships are requesting a pause in combat to discuss terms." Sinclair turned to General Carter and Dr. Fernandez, both of whom met her gaze with unwavering resolve. "Tell them no," she said, her words carrying the weight of a lifetime spent in service to her planet. "They wanted to make an example of Earth. Now we're going to make an example of them." The human vessels pressed their advantage, their relentless assault shattering the Council's once vaunted fleet. Across the galaxy, news of the humans' triumph spread like wildfire, shattering the Council's long-held assumptions about the primitive nature of Earth's inhabitants. Humanity, it seemed, had spent the past 2 decades meticulously planning for this moment, hiding their true technological prowess behind a facade of civilian development. The Council, in their arrogance, had severely underestimated the ingenuity and determination of the species they had sought to subjugate. As the battle reached its climax, the Council fleet was forced to retreat, its once mighty armada reduced to a mere shadow of its former self. The Galactic Council, once a symbol of power and authority, now found itself in a precarious position, forced to confront the reality that the primitives they had sought to dominate were, in fact, masters of warfare and technological innovation. In the aftermath of the decisive battle, High Speaker Xyloth, his 6 eyes filled with a mixture of shock and grudging respect, reached out to Admiral Sinclair with a proposal. The Council, he acknowledged, had severely underestimated the capabilities of the human species, and now they sought to forge a new alliance, one built on mutual understanding and cooperation. Sinclair listened intently, her sharp mind weighing the implications of the Council's offer. "The people of Earth have suffered under the threat of your ultimatum," she replied, her voice measured and uncompromising. "We have spent decades preparing for this moment, hiding our true capabilities behind a facade of weakness. Now, the time has come for us to take our rightful place among the stars." The negotiations that followed would shape the future of the galactic community, as the humans and the alien races sought to forge a lasting alliance built on a foundation of shared knowledge, technological advancement, and a shared vision of a more prosperous and peaceful future. In the aftermath of the decisive battle that had shattered the Galactic Council's once formidable fleet, a tense silence settled over the cosmos. The Council, long accustomed to its position of dominance, now found itself in a precarious position, forced to confront the reality that the primitive species they had sought to subjugate were, in fact, masters of warfare and technological innovation. High Speaker Xyloth, his 6 eyes filled with a mixture of shock and grudging respect, reached out to Admiral Evelyn Sinclair with a proposal. The Council, he acknowledged, had severely underestimated the capabilities of the human species, and now they sought to extend an invitation for Earth to join the galactic community as equals. "Humans of Earth," Xyloth began, his voice tinged with a newfound humility. "We have much to learn from you. The Council wishes to extend an invitation for your species to join us, to share in the knowledge and prosperity of the galactic community." Sinclair listened intently, her sharp mind weighing the implications of the Council's offer. She remembered the fear and anguish that had gripped her people under the Council's ultimatum, the decades spent meticulously planning and preparing for this moment. Now the time had come to seize their rightful place among the stars. "The people of Earth have suffered under the threat of your ultimatum," Sinclair replied, her voice measured but unyielding. "We have spent decades preparing for this moment, hiding our true capabilities behind a facade of weakness. Now, the time has come for us to take our place among the stars." A new era of cooperation and mutual understanding began to take shape as the humans and the alien races of the Galactic Council forged a lasting alliance. Together, they would navigate the vast expanse of the cosmos, sharing technological advancements, cultural exchange, and a shared vision of a more prosperous and peaceful future. For humanity, the journey had only just begun. With their ingenuity, resilience, and determination as their guiding lights, the people of Earth set out to explore the galaxy, ready to face any challenge that stood in their way. The Galactic Council had learned a valuable lesson: never underestimate the power of a species that had spent its history preparing for wars that never came. In the years that followed, Earth's technological prowess and scientific breakthroughs would transform the galactic community as the humans shared their innovations and pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Interstellar trade flourished, cultural exchanges enriched the lives of countless beings, and a new era of peaceful coexistence dawned across the stars. The Council, once a symbol of unyielding authority, now found itself in a position of reverence and admiration, as the humans' remarkable achievements and steadfast spirit inspired awe and respect throughout the galactic community. The primitives had risen to the stars, and in doing so had forever altered the course of galactic history. As the people of Earth looked out into the infinite expanse of the cosmos, they knew that their journey had only just begun. The challenges that lay ahead were vast and daunting, but their unwavering determination, their boundless creativity, and their unshakable spirit would guide them, ensuring that humanity's rise to the stars would be a testament to the power of the human spirit.